Uh, we live in America here, and one part of America's history is what we did to the Indians. A lot of people around here nowadays don't really know that this used to be a place that thrived. I mean, a lot of people, local people do know. There's a lot of new local people who don't know. Where the Creek Indians thrived around here and lived, you know, who knows how long before the white man ever came here. And if you've ever heard of the Trail of Tears, which is the Creek Indians, Cherokee Indians, and others tribes that they picked up along the way, had to walk because they signed a treaty and because they would have been killed otherwise. They had to walk from here to Oklahoma, Wyoming, you know, what, 1,500 miles, 2,000 miles away. Pack up your tribe and go west, because you're not welcome here anymore because we've taken over. So now we're going to go up and see their monument that somebody's built for them up here. What's the f-stop on? Is it on auto or? Yeah, in 1832, they made a treaty with the government. According to tribal towns, every Indian head of household, along with the number of males, females, and slaves of each family. But only 4 years later, the Indians were forced to leave their homes and moved their sacred fires. This is a fire, obviously. Moved their sacred fires west of the Mississippi River. Their names, as recorded by the census taker, are listed here. After the census was completed, the head chiefs of the lower creeks claimed that the name of some Indians were not put down because they were away hunting. And I think it's only fitting that if I showed the opened up of the building on the Columbus City government, that this has got to be somewhere in there.
So do you have any Native American ancestors in your family?
I really don't know. I think that my father's father, he sure looked like an Indian. He had a real olive skin. He was thin and he had really prominent cheekbones. I mean, he looked like an Indian. But you know, the time that he came from was, if you had Indian blood in you, you didn't tell anybody, or, you know, being a half-breed or whatever was still a really bad thing. And nobody in the family talked about it. I've tried to find out about it, and nobody really can say one way or the other. So I don't know. He looked like an Indian, and his father looked like an Indian from an old photograph I've seen, but I don't know. Could be. My name's Jones, who knows? All kinds of mongrel blood in this old boy. Okay, it's 7:30, July 24th, 7:30 p.m. This is where I was last night when we kicked off. There's a government center right there. You can see it in the daylight now. We're on the bridge once again, crossing the Chattahoochee River. It's Georgia to my back, and you're in Alabama, whether you like it or not. So, what do I have in my pocket? Let's see. Let me pull it out of here. Where is it? I got this. Can you get that?
What is that?
That was on a ring. You still zoomed in, or?
Hold it. Let me get it into focus. Okay.
This was a ring that a friend of mine who went to Ireland when I was how old was I? 17. That momentous year. He came back from Ireland and he gave me this ring that he bought there. The ring that it was on broke off a long time ago. And then I had it mounted onto another ring that was made out of sterling silver and put it in a nice setting. That ring I wore for a long time until I got engaged to a girl from New Zealand. And I was on my way to New Zealand to get married to her. I was on a sailboat and traveling from St. Thomas back to St. Petersburg, Florida, St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands. We were sailing the boat to St. Petersburg, Florida, and I broke the ring while I was hauling on a sail line. And for some reason, I knew when the ring broke that I wasn't going to get married to the girl, and it was a vision that turned out to be true, because when I showed up in New Zealand, she was a completely different person. So anyway, that's one question, one story. So I guess we'll wrap this up and we'll go somewhere else. Yeah, it's time to go to the fountains. One of the newest fountains in the city. I really hate this one. I think it's ugly. I think they spent a lot of money for it. Well, they got a lot of donations, but it still costs a hideous amount of money, and it's not even local stone. We've got lots of interesting local stone from Georgia that could have been used on it, but they imported this stone from Italy somewhere, and I don't like it. So I think it's an appropriate place to answer the question, what do I love? I love people, and I love to hear them laugh. Which is kind of ironic that none of the people that I love are in this video, mainly because they wouldn't agree to it. Because they all think they're fat and ugly. But, so I'm the only fat and ugly person in here, but I still think I'm better looking than this damn fountain.